I got two questions for you. One, are you subscribed to my channel yet? If not, please do. Your love and support would definitely mean a lot. And my second question is, what would be your Mount Rushmore of horror icons? Like I'm talking Michael Myers, Jigsaw, Leatherface. Who would you display onto that monument? And let me know in the comments down below. I think it'd be a fun discussion to have considering that we're in spooky season. I just really want to hear your opinions in the comment section. Regardless, we do have a movie to talk about, so let's discuss. Terrifier 3 is directed by Damien Leone, and the plot of the movie is Art the Clown is set to unleash chaos on the unsuspecting residents of Miles County as they peacefully drift off to sleep on Christmas Eve. So my introduction to the Terrifier franchise came with the second movie. I heard a lot of people talk about how gory it is, and I thought, they can't be that bad. And no, they're not kidding. It's a fucking gore fest. So in preparation, I had to watch the first and second movie just to understand where Terrifier 3 may end up going. And finally, it's released in theaters. And I gotta tell you guys, this is the most gruesome, most bloodiest film I've ever seen in my life. Like, it is terrifying, and we gotta talk about it. I do find it a bit funny that this is a Christmas related movie, even though it's a horror movie. I mean, yeah, it's released in October. We're usually expecting like Halloween, fall, seasonal type movies, but the fact that Terrifier 3 is set during Christmas just makes it even more effed up. Now keep in mind, this is a different type of horror movie. I mean, there's horror films that show a lot of blood and gore and intestines, but this one, it's a bit more controversial per se. I mean, there's a lot of kills being displayed that may not be for everybody, and there's a lot of people, depending on ages, that do die in the film that might not suit well with certain audiences. So I could see a lot of people kind of like avoiding the Terrifier movies because of how gruesomely bloody they are, but as a horror fan myself, I had to check it out. And yeah, listen, if you're here to see the kills, they deliver that. It is insane top gore, doesn't hold back on who they're trying to kill, and it's just insane on how much they achieved that. And for a budget of $2 million, I think they spent everything they can on making the kills as believable as they can. Now, when it comes to the story of Terrifier 3, I don't think it's the best, but I think it's an improvement from the second movie, especially because there's a lot of questions in the second movie that do get answered in this third entry, and I really appreciate that. But at the same time, I still end up having more questions by the end of this movie, which kind of leaves me a bit puzzled. But for what it's worth, I think it's a well-paced movie. It's very contained compared to the second movie, because the second movie was almost like a director's cut, and it was a bit longer, kind of dragged out certain conversations. And thankfully in this one, the conversations are tight, but also very informative. And it makes me have interest in the characters, especially Sienna Shaw, who is played by Lauren Lavera. And I gotta tell you, man, she is a phenomenal actress. Compared from the second movie, I feel like she's definitely upped her game in this film. I mean, she's showing a lot of like trauma and PTSD within her character. I think this movie perfectly displays her acting strengths, and I really hope other Hollywood executives see that so she could be in more films. But I think the main draw for this movie will be Art the Clown, who is played by David Howard Thornton. I mean, Art the Clown has become an icon within the past few years, and this dude just shines. He is funny, he's terrifying, and at the same time, like, it's kind of enjoyable to see this type of character grow so quick, but also become a likable presence, even though we're supposed to hate this character. But I can't help but think how great David was playing Art the Clown. I mean, there's some hilarious moments, especially a particular scene where we see Art the Clown meeting a fake Santa at a bar, and the interactions that ensue is just comedic gold in a horror movie that we normally don't see. And I don't know why, I kind of like his facial expressions throughout the whole movie. You gotta understand, Art the Clown does not say a word. It's all just facial expressions. And whenever he gets happy, it's funny, but when he gets like that serious moment when someone pisses him off, it's just like, It's scary, but also still funny because I want to see this guy just smile the whole time. But hey, for what it's worth, I really enjoyed Art the Clown in this film. I think he has definitely earned his right to be a horror icon in this day and age. With all that being said, I'm a bit conflicted by Terrifier 3 because on one hand, it does display more Art the Clown and his brutal kills, but it does take the story a step back just a little bit. I feel like they almost cracked that code, but when the third act is presented, that's where the more questions start to be presented than the answers, because I think a lot of people were just a bit confused on what was going on, but were more entertained by the kills instead of the story being shown. And it doesn't help that the movie ends on a cliffhanger, so yeah, we're gonna have a lot more questions that we're not gonna get answered till the fourth movie releases. But I will say, Terrifier 3 is another great entry into the franchise. I do think it delivers on the gore, it delivers on some of the lore, and of course, most importantly, Art the Clown being just a horror icon that people just love to see. I do feel like hardcore horror fans are gonna eat this movie up, while the casual scary movie going audience may feel a bit conflicted on this. And I will say, if you're someone who does not like tons of gore and violence and kills, especially when it comes to killing children, this movie may not be for you. And even though I'm a casual fan of this franchise, I will say this movie has the balls to just take the kills on another level. I give them a lot of respect for just really displaying their vision and creativity. So I'm gonna give Terrifier 3 a 3.3 out of 5. It's a movie I may not rewatch for a long time until the fourth movie comes out, but I have a lot of appreciation for the creativity and vision for this franchise, especially where it came from until now. I mean, it's a big success for Damien Leone and the team. But those are my thoughts on Terrifier 3. Leave a comment down below on what you thought about this movie. Did you like it or dislike it? Let me know down below. And that's gonna do it for me, so have a great day, guys. Keep watching scary movies, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.